November 22nd, 1963. Dallas, Texas, 12:30 p.m. President John F. Kennedy is riding in an open convertible through Dealey Plaza. Thousands of people line the streets cheering. The sun is shining. Everything seems perfect. 3 shots ring out. The president's head snaps back. Blood sprays across the car. Jackie Kennedy screams and crawls across the trunk, reaching for something. The motorcade speeds toward Parkland Hospital. In 48 hours, America will never be the same. And 60 years later, we still don't know the whole truth. This is the story of the JFK assassination. 3 shots that killed a president. A suspect arrested and murdered on live television. Dozens of witnesses with conflicting stories. And a mystery that has haunted America for 6 decades. But to understand what happened in Dallas, you need to understand 1963. The world was on the edge of nuclear war. America and the Soviet Union had nearly destroyed each other the year before during the Cuban Missile Crisis. Kennedy had brought the world back from the brink, but he'd made enemies doing it. The CIA hated him. He'd refused to support the Bay of Pigs invasion with American military forces. The operation failed spectacularly. Cuban exiles blamed Kennedy for abandoning them. The mob hated him. His brother Robert, the Attorney General, was prosecuting organized crime harder than any official in history. The mafia had helped Kennedy win the 1960 election through Union connections. Now the Kennedys were turning on them. Anti-Castro Cubans hated him for not invading Cuba. Pro-Castro communists hated him for trying to overthrow Castro at all. Segregationists in the South hated him for supporting civil rights. The military-industrial complex hated him for wanting to end the Vietnam War. J. Edgar Hoover, director of the FBI, personally despised the Kennedys and kept files on their affairs and scandals. Kennedy had more powerful enemies than perhaps any president in American history, and in November 1963, he decided to visit Texas, a state where many of those enemies had influence. November 21st. Kennedy arrives in Texas for a political tour. He needs Texas for his 1964 reelection campaign. The state Democratic Party is divided. Kennedy is there to unite them and shore up support. He visits San Antonio and Houston. The crowds are enthusiastic. Everything is going well. November 22nd. Kennedy and Jackie fly from Fort Worth to Dallas. Dallas is known as a conservative stronghold. There have been threats. The Secret Service is concerned. But Kennedy insists the motorcade use an open-top convertible. He wants to connect with the people. He wants them to see him and Jackie. The route through Dallas is published in newspapers days in advance. Anyone who wants to know exactly where the president will be and when can look it up. The motorcade will pass through Dealey Plaza and under the Texas School Book Depository building at 12:30 p.m. Meanwhile, Lee Harvey Oswald goes to work. He's 24 years old, a troubled former Marine who defected to the Soviet Union in 1959, lived there for 3 years, married a Russian woman, then returned to America with her in 1962. He's got a low-paying job at the Texas School Book Depository, on the 6th floor, overlooking Dealey Plaza. The FBI has a file on him because of his Soviet connections, but nobody's watching him closely. That morning, Oswald brings a long package to work. He tells a co-worker it contains curtain rods. It doesn't. It contains a 6.5mm Carcano rifle that he ordered through the mail under a fake name. He assembles it on the 6th floor. He builds a sniper's nest using boxes of books. He waits. 12:29 p.m. The motorcade enters Dealey Plaza. Kennedy and Jackie are in the back seat of a Lincoln Continental convertible. Texas Governor John Connally and his wife are in the jump seats in front of them. Secret Service agents are in the follow car. The crowds are cheering. Kennedy is waving and smiling. 12:30 p.m. The car is directly below the Texas School Book Depository. Crack. The first shot. It misses the car entirely. Kennedy and Connally hear it. Connally later said he immediately recognized it as a rifle shot. He turns to look back at Kennedy. Crack. The second shot. It hits Kennedy in the upper back. The bullet exits his throat. It continues forward and hits Governor Connally, passing through his back, chest, wrist, and lodging in his thigh. One bullet, two men. This will later be called the magic bullet by conspiracy theorists who say it's impossible. Kennedy raises his hands to his throat. Jackie turns toward him. She realizes something is wrong. Crack. The third shot. It hits Kennedy in the head. The famous Zapruder film captures this moment. Kennedy's head snaps backward. Blood and brain matter spray across the car and Jackie's pink suit. She screams, "Oh my God, they've killed my husband!" She climbs onto the back of the speeding car, reaching for a piece of his skull that flew off. A Secret Service agent jumps onto the back of the car and pushes her back into her seat. The driver accelerates. The motorcade races toward Parkland Hospital, 4 miles away. They arrive at 12:36 p.m., 6 minutes after the shooting. Doctors rush Kennedy into Trauma Room 1. His injuries are catastrophic, a massive head wound. He's not breathing. They perform emergency procedures, CPR, a breathing tube. But it's hopeless. 1 p.m. President John F. Kennedy is pronounced dead. He's 46 years old. He's been president for 1,036 days. Jackie Kennedy refuses to change out of her blood-stained pink suit. She wants the world to see what they did to her husband. She stays with his body as it's loaded onto Air Force One for the flight back to Washington. Back in Dealey Plaza, chaos reigns. Witnesses are running in different directions. Some say the shots came from the book depository. Others insist they came from the grassy knoll, a small hill to the right front of where the motorcade passed. Police swarm the area. They find 3 spent shell casings on the 6th floor of the book depository. They find the rifle hidden behind boxes. 12:40 p.m. A book depository employee tells police that one worker left the building immediately after the shooting. Lee Harvey Oswald. Police put out a description. White male, approximately 30, slender build, 5 feet 10 inches. 1:15 p.m., 45 minutes after the assassination. Dallas police officer J.D. Tippett spots a man matching the description walking in a residential neighborhood. He stops to question him. The man pulls a revolver and shoots Tippett 4 times, kills him, then runs. Multiple witnesses see the shooting. They watch the man run into a nearby theater, the Texas Theater, without buying a ticket. Someone calls police. At 1:50 p.m., police surround the theater. They turn on the house lights. Lee Harvey Oswald is sitting in the audience. When police approach, he pulls his revolver and tries to shoot. It misfires. Police tackle him. He's screaming, "I'm not resisting arrest." And this is it, as they drag him out. At police headquarters, Oswald is questioned for hours. He denies everything. He didn't shoot anyone. He's never owned a rifle. He's being framed. The police have overwhelming evidence against him. The rifle is his. He ordered it by mail. Witnesses place him at the window. His fingerprints are on the rifle and the boxes. He has no alibi. He left work immediately after the shooting. He killed a cop, but Oswald keeps denying it. "I'm just a patsy," he says repeatedly. Someone is setting him up. November 23rd. Oswald is charged with murdering President Kennedy and Officer Tippit. The evidence is strong. The case seems straightforward. Then everything changes. November 24th, Sunday morning, 2 days after the assassination, Oswald is being transferred from police headquarters to the county jail. The transfer is announced to the press. TV cameras are set up. Reporters are everywhere. It's a media circus. At 11:21 a.m., detectives escort Oswald through the basement of police headquarters toward an armored car. Dozens of reporters and cameramen crowd around. Then a man steps forward from the crowd. Jack Ruby, a local nightclub owner with connections to organized crime. He's holding a .38 revolver. He shoots Oswald once in the abdomen at point-blank range. On live television, millions watch it happen in real time. Oswald collapses. Police tackle Ruby. Oswald is rushed to Parkland Hospital, the same hospital where Kennedy died 2 days earlier. At 1:07 p.m., Lee Harvey Oswald is pronounced dead. The only suspect in the assassination of the president has been murdered before he can stand trial, before he can testify, before anyone can interrogate him properly about who else might have been involved. Jack Ruby claims he acted alone. He was so distraught about Kennedy's death that he wanted to spare Jackie Kennedy the pain of a trial. But Ruby has deep connections to organized crime. He ran strip clubs and had relationships with mobsters in Dallas, Chicago, and New Orleans. Why was he allowed into the police basement? How did he know exactly when Oswald would be transferred? The official investigation begins immediately. President Lyndon Johnson appoints a commission led by Chief Justice Earl Warren to investigate the assassination. The Warren Commission spends 10 months reviewing evidence. They interview hundreds of witnesses. They conclude that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. 3 shots from the 6th floor of the book depository. No conspiracy. Case closed. But almost immediately, people question the findings. Too many inconsistencies. Too many unanswered questions. The magic bullet that hit both Kennedy and Connally seems impossible to some ballistics experts. Witnesses insist shots came from the grassy knoll, not the book depository. The Zapruder film shows Kennedy's head snapping backward, consistent with a shot from the front, not from behind, where Oswald was. Jack Ruby dies of cancer in 1967, before he can testify more fully. In his final interview, he says, "Everything pertaining to what's happening has never come to the surface. The world will never know the true facts of what occurred." What did he mean? In 1979, the House Select Committee on Assassinations reinvestigates. Their conclusion: Kennedy was probably assassinated as a result of a conspiracy. But they can't determine who else was involved or what the conspiracy was. The CIA, the mob, anti-Castro Cubans, pro-Castro communists, the military-industrial complex, all had motive. None can be proven. Thousands of documents remain classified. The government keeps promising to release them, then delays. Why? What's in those files that can't be revealed 60 years later? Every person directly involved is long dead. What are they protecting? The assassination changed America fundamentally. Trust in government collapsed. The conspiracy theories never stopped. Oliver Stone's film JFK in 1991 reignited public interest and skepticism. Polls consistently show most Americans don't believe Oswald acted alone. Something else happened in Dealey Plaza that day. Something the official story doesn't explain. Today, you can visit Dealey Plaza, the X marked on the street where Kennedy was shot, the 6th floor museum in the book depository where Oswald fired from, the grassy knoll where other witnesses said shots came from. It's a small area. The distances are shorter than you expect. Standing there, you understand how confused everything was, how many sightlines there are, how many places someone could have been. November 22nd, 1963. 3 shots. A president dead. A suspect arrested. The suspect murdered on live TV. An investigation that concluded lone gunman. But witness testimony that suggests multiple shooters. Physical evidence that raises questions. Government secrecy that continues decades later. And a nation that's never fully believed the official story. Was Lee Harvey Oswald a lone assassin? Or was he what he claimed, just a patsy? Did the CIA, the mob, anti-Castro Cubans, or some combination orchestrate the murder of an American president? Why was Oswald killed before he could talk? What's in those classified files? We may never know. The witnesses are dead. The evidence is disputed. The documents stay classified. And the mystery remains. 48 hours, from the motorcade in Dallas to Oswald's murder on live television. 2 murders, a nation traumatized, trust shattered, and questions that echo 60 years later. This is the JFK assassination, the day America lost its innocence, and the mystery that refuses to die.